How to lose body fat, stay active during this winter time. Stay tuned for this podcast. Hello everybody, this is NoBSNutirition on YouTube or Drake. You can follow me on these social media platforms. I pretty much talk about nutrition, health topics, stuff like that. I'm just a personal trainer and I'm just trying to help people on their fitness journey. For me, I lost 110 pounds and some things I did wrong. I lost it too fast. I had a bad relationship with food, stuff like that, right? Now, I'm just coming with this podcasting, so for free content information that you guys could use for your fitness journey in the future or now. So, yeah. If you guys care about my other videos, I have other podcasts as well. This one specifically, Unlock Your Fitness Potential. You should check it out in the description below. I talk about what you should do and just the specifics. It's just a baseline. It's not everything what you should do, but it will help you, especially, and what you should focus on. In this podcast, this is non-scripted, so I'm not using any script books or my laptop anymore. I usually do that because I can't remember it. But this time we are not going to do that. We're going to talk about 6 things. I'm going to try to keep it in my head, so bear with me, okay? But now, let's get to the video. Tips staying active during the winter time. Well, tips staying active and being healthy during the winter time. This is what I do, and this is what you should do, is pretty much eat high protein intake. Try to eat around 1 gram per pound of body weight. It's probably standard, you already do this already, but the reason why I said specifically in the winter, you really have to remind yourself, because protein is the most satisfying macronutrient, right? If you eat your carbohydrates, which is eating with your family, eating stuffing before the protein, you're gonna get more satisfied and not able to eat enough protein perhaps, You have to think about those small things, because the holidays is very hard to eat your macronutrients, to try to be healthy, right? Because it's so tempting to eat that Thanksgiving pie, or so tempting to eat the Christmas cake or something like that, It's very hard to be healthy during the winter time. So you really need to focus on protein intake. And the best way to focus honestly on protein intake is meal prep. Just try meal prep. I'm not saying don't eat with your family, but that's going to be the easiest time to do it. Meal prep your protein, you don't have to eat just carbohydrates, you don't have to eat a whole meal. Try to be healthy, of course, but try to get your protein intake before you eat with your family and overeat or, stuff like that. If you know you're gonna undereat protein intake, you might as well try and almost eat protein. What I do personally, this is just for meal prepping in general, for me, because I go to school, is I probably meal prep 10 pounds of chicken, and I just meal prep that for 10 meals. So that's about a pound for each meal of chicken. So it's lean cuts, so it's like 500 calories, maybe some butter in there, and that's already 100 grams of protein, 90 at lowest. So I'm already hitting my protein, and for dinner I can pretty much have anything I want, in a sense of being healthy, of course. So you just have to keep that in mind, try and hit your protein target. And the reason also why you want to hit that protein target is going to help us for today's topic is to be healthy, of course, so we don't overconsume our calories, but it's also to help us be fit. Protein is the most satisfying macronutrient, but it's also the building blocks to build more muscle. I like to use this saying is pretty much if you don't have materials to build a house, how are you going to expect the house to be built, right? And the materials is obviously the protein, and the house is the muscle. If you're not asking the body to build muscle mass, or if you're not asking the body, hey, I need nutrients to build muscle mass, then where are you going to get that nutrients? You need something to build that house, right? And the stimulus is obviously weight training, and we're going to get into that later, but you need to focus on protein intake. You need to focus on 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you weigh more like 300 pounds, excessive amounts, then I would say go down to your goal weight. So if your goal weight is 200 pounds, if you're 300, or if your goal weight is 150, eat 150 grams of protein. But you really want to stick with that protein amount. And high protein is not like 6 ounces if you weigh 250. High protein is like 8 ounces, stuff like that, 10 ounces each meal of 3 meals a day. Or if you're eating 5 meals, have 6, something like that. I would say probably if you don't want to know portion size, I would say look it up or use a scale. That's probably the best way to do it. At least you're more accurate that way than just trying to estimate it, even though you don't know portion size if you never did it before. It's like going to a cave, going to a dark cave without a flashlight. You just don't know what you're doing. So you need to really focus on that, okay? Now, the next topic, we're gonna go into that. Besides protein intake, is very important, but how would I build muscle? Yeah, I'm eating low protein, but I'm not strength training, obviously. If you're watching this video, you're probably not strength training. I don't know if you are. But you need to focus on strength training. And the reason why I say strength training with compound lifts specifically, because compound lifts will give you more strength, more muscle potential, the best form of exercise you can do. And also saves time. You know, if you try to spend with your family during the holidays, but you only got like 30 minutes in the gym, 15 minutes, then you're not gonna do bodybuilding exercises and go to the leg press, go to leg extensions, and go to the dumbbell calf raises. I don't know, something like that. You're not doing that because you don't got a lot of time. So you want something that will give you better results, or even the same, if so, better results or even the same, but give you the most return in the short amount of time, which is the compound lifts. I'm not gonna keep talking about them, but there are MindPump and starting strength. Starting strength focus on the compound lifts. You do 3 times a week in the gym. You focus on bench, squat, deadlift. Women out there, you're probably watching my video if you are. That is not a man thing. You can easily do that. Everyone can do it. It's not a gender-specific exercise. Men and female do it on starting strength, and they're very strong. I see the females benching 185 on their video. It's crazy. I see 90-year-olds deadlifting 405 for reps. So even though he might be like, wait, only 3 times a week in the gym, not 5, not 2, well, no, not 6. Yeah, you only need 3 to 2 times a week in the gym. It doesn't take that much. You can do full body with these compound lifts, but I just focus on a strength program method, which I could help. Description below, personal trainer. Pretty much just like a 5x5. So 5 reps, your max, and 5 sets, and for 5 minutes. So 5x5. You could do something like that, or 5x3. But the reason why I'm not trying to give you too much information is because really it's a lot, and honestly you should go to Starting Strength. They focus on programming for free. I don't work with them, but that will help you get started. I know my fitness journey, you can see right there, I went to 144 to 200 pounds with their methods. So I mean, I think you should do it. Definitely won't get strong get strong at all. Yeah, won't get strong, totally. And another best podcast you can look into is MindPump. MindPump, I'm not gonna stop talking about them to the day I die because they're science-based, more informational, and they're talking about everything that you probably think about: metabolism, winter, everything, even Christianity, mental health, family, stuff like that. So I think you should give it a shot, and they have matched programs. So if you only have 15 minutes out the day, they have a 15-minute workout. It's not like these stupid videos you see online, these fitness fanatics posting, like do some ab crunches and call it a day. No, it's actually real workouts that actually give you some results. Like I said, they're gonna promote barbell compound lifts. That's the best way to start, in my opinion, when you're a beginner or when you just don't have time, because it doesn't take a lot of time, and also you're gonna get strong. So just focus on that compound lifts, and that's how you get results. That's one of the ways how to get results. Number 3 is, this is a perfect time to actually reverse diet. I think reverse dieting is actually a perfect time, or bulking. It's kind of funny because, like, you know, this is the winter season, people have been saying, but besides the point of that types of videos, you know, I think it's the perfect time. You know, you're not going to show your abs if you care about that. You're not going to be outside often. So the best time is to do a strength method program and just bulk or reverse diet. If your calories are too low because you cut during summertime, you can reverse diet, try and build those calories to 2,000 all the way to 2,800. It is possible, and do a reverse diet and get strong. And that's really going to kickstart your fat loss journey because of that fact of building muscle. Because you can't really build muscle, at least not having an active component to build muscle, if you're not telling the body to have extra calories. You don't have extra materials. And I'm not saying a body recomposition is impossible. It's just going to be harder, especially if you don't have a lot of body fat to begin with. So I would say do a reverse diet. That's probably one of the best ways to build muscle mass. And another way is obviously to bulk. That's another way you could do, is to probably put about a 250 to 300 calorie surplus, just because of the, you know, you don't want to get overly stuffed, I guess, or you don't want to get overly fat. Obviously, if you're very active or you're burning more, you probably have to bump it up to 500, even 1,000 if you're a kid. So it's just dependable. I'm not trying to get into calories that often because it's dependable for each person. If you see a 200-pound bodybuilder who looks very short to like the bone, but you're eating 2,000 calories and you're eating like 3,000 calories. It's like, wait, do I have to put my calories down? You know, it's called calorie comparison. It's really a mind fuck sometimes people go through. But honestly, you shouldn't just focus on calories. You should focus on how you feel and if you're getting stronger. And I would say do a bulk or do a reverse diet. That's one of the best ways in my opinion. The fourth one is actually, believe it or not, is not nutrition or strength training, it's walking, believe it or not. You want to be able to be healthy, right? You want to be able to burn calories, and specifically we want to walk between meals. The reason why we want to walk between meals is so our heart rate, our blood sugar doesn't spike up. And it's very catabolic if we're insulin resistance. And we want to be insulin sensitive. If we're not insulin sensitive, then all of our calories, all of our nutrients will participate into fat storage, and we don't want that because it will go to glycogen at first. And the way to blunt that effect is to walk, believe it or not. And also walking has mental benefits. Also, it burns calories, obviously, but it's one of the best ways. You know, if you don't have a lot of time to have specific scheduled treadmill work or cardio work, then the best way to do it is walking. Walking honestly burns calories. It helps you. All I would suggest is do 10-minute walks between meals. So if you eat 5 meals a day, that's 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, 50 minutes a day right there. If you eat 3 meals, that's 30 minutes. If you can't necessarily do that, let's say can't eat and after that walk afterwards, then try to walk on the second meal. You know, you could do scheduled cardio, but you will have more of a benefit of doing between meals just because you just ate right after, and now the body's saying, hey, we're sitting down, we're not activating the muscles, so we can store it to mostly muscle mass. You know, and scheduled cardio is good, but I think you should walk, move around at least, so you can funnel digestion. That's another good one, and not trying to go all the way to glycogen and store body fat. And number five, we already talked about protein intake, we already talked about walking. Well, number 5 is really just spend time with your family. You know, that's very healthy at all. You know, it might not be physical healthy, but it's mental healthy. You know, spend time with your family, trying to have fun. You know, if you're at work, trying to have time for your kids, stuff like that. You know, like you hear the saying, you're not gonna be around for them forever, but at the same time, it's just one holiday per year. You know, you could always wait next holiday, but what's the point of that? You might as well spend time with the family, trying to have mental, not just physical always, and that's gonna help you. Stress levels, if you have high stress during the holidays, then all those factors like sleep might be correlated to your stress as well, and that can really blunt the effect of losing body fat. So you need to make sure your stress levels are low. If your stress levels are not low enough, then that could have an effect called chronic stress with high cortisol, and that could really blunt the fat loss journey or actually make you gain body fat, believe it or not. So you need to make sure your stress is low. So do things that you like to do things with your family, do stuff like that. So yeah, and moving on, lastly is number 6. Number 6 is the most important thing. I don't know why I didn't talk about it first, but number 6 is the most important. And then backtracking is sleep. You hear this all the time. Even though you spend with your family, you need to make sure you get good sleep. Without good sleep or quality sleep, then you won't able to make the progress that you want to. I know if you sleep for 3 hours a day, you're not getting good quality sleep. You need to make sure you have good rest. I also try to aim for 9 hours of sleep, just because if you wake up at the middle of the night, at least you get that 1 extra hour, so it bluntens the effect that you're not going to stay up too long. Because someone who starts to sleep at so if someone starts to sleep at 8 hours, they think they get 8 hours of sleep, most likely they get 7. Just because of the fact that it takes time to fall asleep. Laying in bed, like I say multiple times on my podcast, is not falling asleep. You know, close your eyes, it's not falling asleep. And that sounds obvious, but people count that with their time of falling asleep. So, you know, laying in bed, closing your eyes is not falling asleep. Waking up in the middle of the night is not falling asleep. Stuff like that. So you need to make sure you're well rested, and the best way you can check that out is with your watch. You know, you can check that out, see what time you got. You know, and those are not accurate, but it's better data than nothing. see how you feel, and you might not even feel right because you're so used to a low sleep consistently, then high sleep will feel weird. So you need to get used to that and try to see what feels good. Like I said, try to have an extra hour or even hour or two to actually try to go and relax. That first hour you're trying to relax, try to turn off electronics, try to turn off lights, so nothing like this, not UV, not like high lights, stuff like that. Wear blue light blocking glasses if you can, or use a tint on your phone. I talked about on Unlocking Potential on YouTube, on my podcast. You can check that out, and that really talks about more in depth on sleep, what you should do. So really, you should watch that video. That's really it. That's like, sleep is the last one. Just get good sleep and consistent. Gotta focus on sleep. I don't care if you're not, eating your protein intake. If your sleep is bad, you're not gonna make as much progress or none at all, or even degress. So I'm just saying you gotta be careful with that. But lastly, that's really it for today's podcast. Spend time with family, trying to have fun. I make about 41 podcasts. This is the 41 podcast of the week of. Yeah, wow, I've been making a lot of podcasts. And pretty much what I want to say is, comment below. Please comment below, because I don't know what you guys like to watch. I'm not going to keep posting videos if you guys don't know what to watch, and if you just like the first 40 seconds of the video. I want to help people, and I want to be able to target specific people. So if you need a topic to be answered, or you need something that I need to talk about, comment below. Don't be afraid to comment. It could be something kind of funny, it could be something kind of weird, nothing too crazy, nothing inappropriate, obviously, but something you could talk about, and I can talk about on my podcasting. So yeah, this is Drake or NoBSNutirition, and goodbye. Bring your friends,